everybody, and welcome to So Says Shernoff. I am your host, Josh Shernoff, and it's Valentine's Day. So happy Valentine's Day to all of our viewers. I really hope you're watching this on the 15th. I also hope that you or your partner went to BlueChew.com and used the promo code Josh, got the free shipment, popped the Blue Chew, and had a very happy Valentine's Day. And in the spirit of V-Day, tonight we are going to take a look at some of the best and worst couplings in wrestling history. Also, we're going to chat about the Elimination Chamber. But first, let's take a look at some headlines, shall we? So remember when the WWE told fans at SmackDown after the AEW rally to take off their AEW shirts or leave? And remember when the WWE was like, oh, that must have been a rogue security guard. Well, that guard must travel because at the Royal Rumble, he was at it again.
Would they have anything against that?
No. There's tons of Bullet Club shirts all over the place.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Don't worry, his buddy, I'm sure he's going to get after it. Oh, he is.
I am.
Oh my God, they're treating him so terribly. It is bullshit.
So what did he just do?
Taking it off.
So, but he already had a shirt on underneath that?
The kid paid hundreds of dollars.
That's right. They made this kid take his AEW shirt off. And when I first heard it, I was like, oh man, you can't do that. But when I saw the video, I was like, why did he have another t-shirt on underneath? Like, people wear long sleeve shirts under t-shirts, but do they wear t-shirts under another t-shirt? And if so, why stop at one? Because chances are he wore the undershirt because he knew he was going to be asked to take the AEW shirt off. If I were this guy, I would have just layered a few more shirts under there. Take off AEW, and it's a TNA shirt. And then under that, it's a WCW shirt. And then under that, it's no shirt, just a tattoo of the old WWF logo. And one more thing. I know this must have been a stressful situation, but has this guy ever taken a shirt off before? Like, not everyone needs to take it off like John Cena and make a little rat tail out of it, but the dude took forever. Actually, can we get a clock on that? Okay, so he's going with his right arm, okay, looks like the right arm's through, and we are already to 10 seconds here, and he has abandoned, he's back now, and we're gonna go over the head. Up, and, nope, up, and over, we're having trouble. We're stuck, and no, you'd think, it's just one more arm, pal. Get it? Get it? Get it? That's almost 30 seconds. Do you realize there are, and this is no joke, at least 15 people who have been eliminated from the Royal Rumble in less than a third the time it took for this guy to figure out which way to pull his shirt off. Who knows? Maybe this wasn't the whole incident. Maybe he had like a whole AEW tracksuit on, and that's why the Rumble was 7 hours long. Just killing time till all AEW merch was gone. Hey, speaking of merch, go to SoSaysShernoff.com and pick up any of these awesome shirts. You like how I shoehorn that in there? Moving on. The wrestling business is booming. MLW recently broke box office records at the old ECW arena. Ring of Honor and New Japan are set to blow the roof off of Madison Square Garden. But the talk of the town, the belle of the ball, still seems to be AEW. They have been creating a buzz anywhere they go, and last week's press conference in Vegas was no exception, debuting several new talents and announcing a handful of matches for Double or Nothing. But there is one talent out there not yet associated with AEW that has everybody asking questions. No, not him. I mean, he dropped WWE from his Twitter profile or whatever, but no, that is not happening. I'm talking about this guy, Dean Ambrose. A few weeks back, the WWE made an announcement that Ambrose would not be re-signing in April. The announcement was weird for a couple of reasons. One is the timing of Hideo Itami, or Kenta, asking for and seemingly being granted his release without any fanfare from WWE. Hashtag thank you. Why make such a big deal out of Dean Ambrose deciding to leave several months from now? Well, for starters, maybe it's a work. Maybe it's all part of a story, in which case, bravo to WWE for pulling the wool over everyone's eyes. I mean that sincerely. I know sarcasm is my superpower, which happens to be one of my shirts available now at SoSaysShernoff.com. But anyway, I like to not know what's happening. It's part of the fun. However, if that's the case and he's not leaving and you have him working Nia Jax as a good idea and not a punishment, then clearly someone at the WWE smoked the prototype of Daniel Bryan's belt. But hey, you know what? Maybe it's a negotiating tactic. We've heard of situations with guys like Brock Lesnar and CM Punk when negotiations were up to the last minute. Who can really say? One thing is for sure though, Dean Ambrose is just what AEW could use. There is zero question that AEW has a stacked roster when it comes to talent, but they need a current established name to grab those fans outside of the indie wrestling bubble. Yes, there is Chris Jericho, and that is huge. But outside of him, there aren't any major names that would have a WWE loyalist say, I have to see that. Maybe Cody, but he's been gone from that universe for a while. They need someone straight from WWE TV right to AEW, and Dean Ambrose may very well be that guy. Because it sure as heck ain't gonna be anyone bigger. We'll be right back. Need a little extra boost in the bedroom? Go to BlueChew.com. Blue Chew is made with the same active ingredients as Viagra and Cialis, so you know they work. Blue Chew is chewable, which makes it the better, cheaper, and faster alternative. No in-person doctor's visits, no waiting in line, and best of all, no more awkwardness. Use the promo code JOSH when you order online to get your first month free. Just pay $5 shipping. Go to BlueChew.com and use the promo code JOSH. Welcome back. It's Valentine's Day. So that means you are either single and passing judgment on all the happy couples you see, or you are out to dinner with that special someone, passing judgment on all the happy couples you see. Either way, we thought we'd get in the spirit here at So Says Shernoff and pass a little judgment of our own on some of wrestling's best and worst on-air couplings. Now, normally when you rate something, you'd give it a number of stars, but today we're gonna make like you two, and in the name of love, we will be rating these couples in hearts. First up, Lana and no, not Rusev, Lana and Dolph Ziggler. This was awful. Not only did it ruin Lana's awesome Russian character, but it was just uncomfortable. Look, I get there is a level of theater to wrestling, but sports entertainment's blurry line between real and fantasy makes it really awkward to see an on-air coupling when you know one of the people is in a real-life relationship with the other guy's coworker. Looking back at this couple, I could not find a single redeeming moment, unless you count how short-lived it was, although that arguably made it even worse. And the best part is, the storyline ended because Lana and Rusev announced their real-life engagement on social media. Looks like the fans weren't the only ones wanting this storyline to end. This one was so bad, it doesn't even get a heart. It gets a Stan Stasiak heart punch. Okay, let's see something better. Goldust and Marlena. Ooh, that's an interesting one for sure. On screen, they were the perfect pairing. Marlena's often stoic presence complemented the Bizarre One's more eccentric demeanor. Unfortunately, the story of these two characters fell to the less often mentioned side of the Attitude Era and kind of taints the whole package. There's a joke in there somewhere, but I'm not touching it. Due to how short a time this would last, especially in comparison to the Goldust character's 20-plus year run, I'm going to give it a solid 3 hearts. Next up, we have the rated R superstar and Lita. So this kind of goes back to the whole awkwardness of knowing your on-screen partner is with your coworker, except these two didn't become an on-screen item until after they hooked up in real life, making the whole thing that much more awkward. However, and this is how messed up this situation was, this real-life affair was the absolute best thing that ever happened to Edge professionally. He reached a level of superstardom, or superstardom, the likes of which he could have only dreamt of before. In the end, everything worked out fine for Edge and Matt Hardy, and I guess Lita Not really sure her relationship status these days, although I like to imagine she and S.A. Rios have found their way back to each other. For all the drama and all the excitement, yeah, I'm looking at you, live sex show, I'm going to give this 3 hearts. You know what? Make it 3.5. How could you have a list like this without mentioning the Macho Man and Miss Elizabeth? While the real-life relationship was not the fairy tale we want to remember it as, this couple was arguably the greatest couple in wrestling history. 2 polar opposites that came together to create one of the most beloved duos of all time. And yes, they had their ups and downs. I mean, the man became a king, after all. That's gonna put stress on any relationship. But in the end, that moment at WrestleMania 7 will never be forgotten. From Miss Elizabeth jumping the guardrail, to Randy noticing her, to the eventual reconciliation and pose on the shoulder, to those 2 fans, I'm gonna do something I have never done in the 3-minute history of this segment. I'm gonna give them a full heart foundation. And last but not least, Triple H and Stephanie. While Savage and Elizabeth may be the most fondly remembered couple, no on-air couple has had a more profound effect on this business than Triple H and Stephanie McMahon. From the early date rape, to the McMahon-Helmsley era, to the Authority, this tandem has earned the distinction of 4 hearts and a heartbreak kid. So do you agree or disagree with my views on this subject? Feel free to sound off on social media at Shernoff Show and use the hashtag Bertha Faye and Harvey Whippleman forever. And remember that true love is in the eye of the beholder. We'll be right back. Need a little extra boost in the bedroom? Go to BlueChew.com. Blue Chew is made with the same active ingredients as Viagra and Cialis, so you know they work. Blue Chew is chewable, which makes it the better, cheaper, and faster alternative. No in-person doctor's visits, no waiting in line, and best of all, no more awkwardness. Use the promo code JOSH when you order online to get your first month free. Just pay $5 shipping. Go to BlueChew.com and use the promo code JOSH. Welcome back. This Sunday, the WWE presents the Elimination Chamber event. Oh, and if you're planning to squeeze the show in right before some Valentine's activities, you will want to take your Blue Chew now. Anyway, this match has always been a bit of a head-scratcher for me. From the very beginning, where they made it too small for any real high-flying action, or to more recent times when they redesigned the cage to be safer, putting mats on the outside. Now, don't get me wrong, I agree with having mats on the outside. There is no reason that any competitor needs to be bumping on solid steel grates. Except for Baron Corbin. He deserves it. But that was kind of the selling point for the chamber in the first place. Now it's just kind of become a different looking Hell in a Cell with pods. Remember when those pods were bulletproof, but you could fall right through them? The Elimination Chamber has definitely had its ups and downs. From the highest of highs, like when Chris Jericho snuck into the match and became champion, to the lowest of lows, like when Shawn Michaels wore whatever the hell this outfit was supposed to be. You know, people have given him a hard time because the outfit was incomplete, but I almost feel like it would have been worse had it been finished. Anyway, the Elimination Chamber is an interesting concept, and the WWE is expanding on that concept this year with the first ever Women's Tag Team Elimination Chamber match for the new Women's Tag Team titles. While I have to question the logic behind who is in this match, seeing as Raw teams had to qualify with matches and SmackDown teams just, put themselves in there, I do think that it is a cool opportunity to see something fresh and new from the WWE and its women's division. I mean, let's face it, the Women's Rumble sequel was not exactly as good as the original. I'd say 4.5 out of these 6 teams are really good, and I expect some unique spots out of these women. My prediction for who walks out champion? Sasha and Bayley. Could I be wrong? Yes. Will I really care? No. So the rest of the card is pretty inconsequential, and that's kind of the issue with running 2 pay-per-views between the Rumble and WrestleMania. They're building towards Mania, but need to fill these other shows. So I'm going to rapid fire some predictions here. Shane and Miz are going to start unraveling as a team, which is a shame because they are just starting to become entertaining. Becky and or Charlotte will get involved in the Ronda Rousey match, possibly coming to her defense against the Riot Squad to keep Ronda as champion, which could mean we could see Charlotte and Becky and Ronda face the Riot Squad at Fastlane with a whole, oh man, how are these 3 going to coexist? It's a nail-biter of a situation. Except for the fact that Becky is suspended for 60 days. So honestly, I don't know what's going to happen. The point is, none of this matters. We are going to have a triple threat at Mania, so suck it up and realize that it could actually be a good thing. While adding Charlotte to the mix kind of lessens the big fight feel, the match may be better for it. The Cruiserweight match will be awesome, but will be bumped to the pre-show. Bobby Lashley and Lio Rush versus Finn Balor should be the 7th segment on Raw, and Braun Strowman versus Baron Corbin shouldn't even be a segment at all anywhere, etc., etc., etc. The only other match on the show that matters is for the WWE title, and it's another Elimination Chamber match. There's ample opportunity for Mustafa Ali to shine in this match. However, I predict his elimination will come from an RKO out of nowhere. I'm sorry, what's that? I'm being told Mustafa Ali has a concussion and has been replaced by Kofi Kingston. Well, that changes everything. With the new addition to the match, I now have to say that there is ample opportunity for Kofi Kingston to shine in this match. However, I predict his elimination will come from an RKO out of nowhere. In the end, Daniel Bryan will walk out champion as the WWE tries to figure out who is around to face him at Mania and who is going to AEW. Well, that is all the time I have today. Keep in touch with the show on Twitter at Shernoff Show, on Facebook.com/Shernoff Show. You can find me at So Says Shernoff and go to SoSaysShernoff.com for all my awesome merchandise and so much more. That's our show. Join us again on March 7th. This has been So Says Shernoff, because that is what Shernoff had to say. Good night.